Welcome to Full Time Devils. I'm Adam McCullough. I am joined by Carl Braidwood, Andy Tate, Mr. Stephen Allison. I'm Adam McCullough, and this is the big transfer window review. And it's deadline day today. And Manchester United, we've been linked with a few players on deadline day, but we here kind of get the feeling nothing's going to happen. But if something does, we will keep you updated on that, because there's been a few whispers about Willian and a few other players like Mahrez and Cole. I'll be diving into your comments very soon, but the plan for today is to speak about Manchester United signings in, out, and then wrap it up with a review of our whole window. So keep it locked to Full Time Devils, and of course, keep it interactive as well. This is your show, so you can get involved. First things first, come to you guys. How you all doing?
Good, mate. Yeah, good. Good to be back.
Yeah, good. Treat myself to a new shape for a new season.
Nice, mate, as well. Yeah.
It's all right. Yeah.
Who you got in the back?
It's blank at the moment.
Lukaku.
You saving it for a new signing today?
Who knows? Have to wait and see.
Well,
All right.
You're right.
I had to snooze my alarm clock like 5 times this morning, but yeah, I'm all right.
Why is that? Because you've been sat up all night eager for transfer window then?
No.
You
I'm
haven't.
still knackered from Mayweather McGregor, if I'm being completely
Hey,
honest.
that knocked my whole life out. I think that did, but the right result in the end anyway. Less of that. Firstly, we'll be talking about ins. Obviously, Manchester United. We made 4 signings this summer. Jose wanted 4, even though one of them is one that we expected. He did want an extra one, which didn't come. So we'll get to that eventually. But the first signing of the summer was Victor Lindelof, who came in from Benfica for around £31 million. It was a signing that was linked for a while. Some talk about Michael Keane. There were various other centre-halves linked with United. But it was Victor Lindelof that came in. Now, I'm going to go to your comments very soon. And at the moment, I can see Will, Adil, Romelu Lukaku's in the comments. We'll be talking about him later. Maradona Fele. Is that a mix between Maradona and Pele and Fellaini? It's an interesting name. Justin Hernandez is there saying, if Arsenal sell Sanchez, shake my head. Doubt that wasn't going to happen. And Jed says, Andy, say Reverend Depay, Pep and style of play.
Reverend Depay, style of play.
That makes no sense.
I know, it doesn't at all.
Yeah.
Some weirdos out there.
Yeah, there is. Cameron Alex is still pushing with Wesley Sneijder. But anyway, less of that. We're talking about Victor Lindelof.
Guy told his agent that he's looking to get him a move today, so expect that one to come up at some point, I reckon, today.
You reckon it's going to come up? You reckon
No.
it's going to happen?
No, but...
No, do you reckon the link is going to happen?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
if it's not already.
If it's not happened, check if it's happened yet while I chat to Carl about Lindelof.
Yes,
Carl,
mate.
Lindelof. What do you think?
I mean, I watched him for Benfica in Europe, and he was decent to be fair. He seemed calm. But I mean, you've got to take it in consideration. He's coming from a Portuguese league to the Premier League, the best league in the world. And it's a bit of a jump. You've got to look back at when Mourinho was at Chelsea and he bought Cavallo, whoever he is.
Carvalho.
Yeah, when he came, he struggled for a bit, and it's a bit of a jump, but then obviously he turned into a decent defender. So I think we're going to see that a little bit with Lindelof. And he hasn't had the game time yet. He's had that. He played against Real Madrid, obviously, and had a bit of a nightmare. But I think he needs game time, and he's one of those players, you can tell by his character as well, he's one of those players that takes a little bit of time to settle in. He's a bit quieter, and do you know what I mean? But once he gets in, I think he'll be decent, to be fair.
Has it happened yet?
They're linking him to Watford, actually.
Like it.
Watford, and I've seen
Love
someone
it.
with Everton, but it seems like he's going to be offered on loan to Watford.
In terms of Victor
Cool,
Lindelof,
lad.
what do you think of him? And also, after that, after you tell us what you think of him, do you think we needed a centre-half to come in and be the main man straight away? Or do you think we're still good to sign him?
All right, so what do I think of Lindelof? So when we was linked to him in December, I hopped on WeScout and I started watching him. And we'd spoken to Wes Brown around that time, who said to me that defenders, you need to look at defenders, how they defend 1 versus 1. So I sort of changed my style of analysis of defenders and went purely just looking at what they do as tackling 1v1 and what they do in terms of positioning. And the conclusion that I came to with Lindelof was that he's not the greatest defender in the world at all. Actually quite shaky when you isolate him one-on-one, and his tackling was a little bit rash. Excellent on the ball, great distribution, and I think that really catches the eye with a lot of players for him. So when, like Carl says, you can see him settle in at United, what's there to settle in at? He's playing the exact same way that he has always played for Benfica for United. We've got what we signed. Do you know what I mean? We're not looking at him
I think in
taking
terms
a
of
dip.
settling in, a lot of people think
Yeah, but
In pre-season, he played with a different goalkeeper behind him every game, a different centre-half,
What we're
different
seeing
back
from
three.
Lindelof is what Lindelof is. We're not seeing a player that we thought could do this, and he's not shown that. No, he's shown what we saw of him prior to him signing. We had Rennie Mullenstein in here this week, and I don't think I asked him on camera. It might have been off camera. I asked him about Lindelof, and is this? I think it was on camera actually. Is the sort of things that he needs something that you can train on the training ground? And he said it is.
Yeah.
He said it is. So I'm going to go to Rennie Mullenstein and say, Rennie Mullenstein knows 100% more than I know about football. He says we can train it into him. Mourinho says he's not at the level he wants him at, so Mourinho's clearly working on stuff in training with him. So knowing that there is you don't get to be as good as he is on the ball without having a little bit of an intelligence. So I think that there's going to be a little bit of time on the sideline, possibly like we saw with Mkhitaryan last season, where Mourinho breaks him down and works on him. But I think there's a player to be had there. But I'm just going to push back a little bit at people saying he needs to settle in, because we've got what we signed. He needs to improve his defensive abilities. Now, I've got the confidence that Mourinho can do that. As for did we need a player to come in and sign straight away, I think you guys know for a while that there's a centre-half that I've really liked, and that's Howarders, and he's just signed for Juventus for 10 million. Now, that's an experienced guy. I think he might be 29 or 30. Excellent, commanding, dirty centre-half. Someone that's a real leader at the back, and if there's a weakness United have got that I can really point to, beside this left-back, left-wing-back, left-winger sort of question mark that we've got, it's a leader at centre-half. The whole defence is very young, apart from Chris Smalling, who has massively fell off a cliff at the moment. So if we was going to sign someone, Howarders going to Juventus for 10 million feels like a missed opportunity for me, because he's someone that I think would have loved the Premier League, loved Mourinho, and would have been an excellent partnership with Bayer.
He's probably guaranteed first team football at Juventus, which with Chiellini leaving.
I don't know if
I
we
think it's an age range as well. I think Mourinho doesn't want someone, obviously he's 29, whatever he is, but he doesn't want someone at the end of his career. He wants someone he can, like you said, break down like he's done with Mkhitaryan, like he did with Martial.
He wouldn't have needed to do that. Yeah. You've got a very young defence.
One sec, Andy.
I think he's one for the future, yeah. And Stephen's right. He's going to learn stuff in training, and it'll be a good addition to the squad. And he really got exposed against Real Madrid, but he's come from.
There's no shame in that, though.
There's no like the European champions. There's no shame in that, especially we've got Isco coming at you and all the other players that night. But it's come from the Portuguese league, and it's the Portuguese league is like the Scottish league, and he's coming into the English.
I don't think it's that bad, Andy, but
but he's coming into.
It's got better weather.
Hey, it's really bad, yeah.
Just.
But he's going to be an addition. He'll learn, and he's a good addition. He'll do well for you.
Jose doesn't sign bad centre halves, does he?
No,
that's a lie. Stop perpetuating the myth.
Tal
He signed
Ben-Aim.
Belarus.
Did he sign Tal
And
Ben-Aim?
Belarus.
Belarus is awful, wasn't he? Khalid, didn't he come from Eredivisie? Was it
Not sure where he signed him
Feyenoord or
from.
somewhere like that?
But there's a lot of his signings at Chelsea was rum, and when you look at it, they've not been rum anywhere else. So I wonder if it was like a director of football thing going on there.
A lot of strange things happen at Chelsea, like with the loan system, and then you notice it's still happening now. You notice they're still letting go of English players. Like, was it really Jose's fault if that?
I think
is what would
Shevchenko
always
was
happen?
signed outside of his
Yeah,
thing
it
as
was.
well.
He definitely was signed
There was a
above
lot
him,
of stuff
wasn't
going on with transfers that he wasn't in control
Right.
of. So it's probably unfair to call him for them.
A lot of people are saying dab, Andy. You don't dab, do you,
I'll
Andy?
dab. Only if we win the Champions League, I'll dab.
It's a free match
Or
ban
the
now.
Premier League.
Producer Chris, some people are mentioning Andy's sound. Can you check that out for us? Producer Chris has sorted that out. Anant says, who is the third guy? I don't know. Stephen Alson.
Yeah, I'm on here quite regular.
He's on here quite a lot. Have you not watched it before, guys? Come on.
What planet are you from?
No, it's Mr. Carl Braidwood, and he's been on the channel
Yeah, I've been on a few times.
ages ago. He's probably, no, actually, he might have been on before these two. But
No, I was on when Howson was. I was on before you, wasn't I?
Ooh!
Only just though.
You got here first, Andy.
Bitch.
Deal with it.
I'm the original.
You are, mate. You are.
Tell you a story about Andy. Andy used to come to fan cams from the start and never did a fan cam for about 3-4 months
What?
before he exploded onto
Just
the
sat there
scene.
fuming.
He just stood behind everyone like, oh, this is great.
That's good.
David Moyes pushed.
Yeah, push you over the edge.
Can we
That
have
makes sense, mate.
Statman Dave says, are you you can, but he's not here. We'll try and get him on in the future. If Mahrez or Sanchez is available, why not try, says Christopher. We'll talk about potentials later. Manchester Than, thank you for the comment. Kumar from Thailand says, what you guys think? What you think, guys? We need right back one more player? While we're on defenders and while we're on defence, do you think we just needed that one centre half, or do you think because Lindelof can play on the right as well, can't he?
I don't understand. In fact, I know exactly where everyone's saying that we need a right back for, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. So when people are saying we haven't got any right back cover, well, we've got Antonio Valencia, who is absolutely first choice. You've got Darmian. You've got Tuanzebe who can play there at a push. You've still got Joe Riley. You've got Lindelof. You've got Phil Jones can play there. Smalling can play there. I don't like him playing there, but we've got more options at right back than arguably any other single position on the pitch. Why do we need another right back? I don't understand why we need another right back. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. If you're someone that said, we need a left back, I'll go, yes, because no one has claimed that left back starting position yet. Maybe the door's open for Luke Shaw to come and do that, but that's a big question mark. That's a bit of a mystery. We don't know how that's going to go down for Luke Shaw. There could be an issue with when Luke Shaw comes back. I don't know how that's going to come about. Demi Mitchell, there's a question mark over whether he'll be allowed to be given the opportunity to start and do well. As a left back is the place that we've got problems. I don't understand the right back thing. It seems like someone's got it in their head, and it makes no sense.
It is a weird one, and I think it's visibly seen folks who meant to leave who was someone earmarked for a backup right back position and thinking, oh, we're short. Yeah, but then when you look at it, Darmian could have left this summer. He didn't got caught.
Sorry, but like you said, if you're letting a player like Fosu Mensah go, that's Mourinho kind of putting a marker down saying, we've got enough here. I want Fosu Mensah to go and get some more experience. I want him to play regularly. So he's let him go. So I've got enough in what I've got now. All I need is another central defender.
We've got like 4 or 5 options there. I mean,
we've got more
unless we get decimated in defence, which you can't mitigate for every single circumstance. If we lost De Gea, we've got Romero. Now, what's to say if you lost 2 keepers on a season-long injury? Like, no team is coped.
We have to recall Andy Gorham then, won't we?
Yeah. Tony Coleman's going to get flung in the mix. No team can cope with like multiple injuries in one position.
Yeah,
so you can't
don't
hoard
a squad of bloody 50.
Yeah, you can't do that.
They'll just end up kicking off all the time. Yeah. You want to thin your squad down to just enough so there's not like arguments in the dressing room and that sort of stuff.
Andy, I got a question for you. So when we look at our defence, you look at Phil Jones, who's been great for the first 3 Premier League games of the season, but we know the question marks over Phil Jones. You look at Chris Smalling. Yes, he's played well, but not under Jose Mourinho. You look at Marcus Rojo. Yes, he's played well, but only under Jose Mourinho, and then he's injured. Daley Blind can play there sometime. Axel Tuanzebe coming through. I think the only centre-half we can rely on is Eric Bailly. Do you not think that's a worry that there's so many question marks? Even left-back, Luke Shaw's a question mark.
Yeah.
There's a lot of question marks over these. Whilst on paper, it looks strong. Do you think it is strong, or do you think we're risking going into the season and a lot of maybes?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, because I think Bailey is the strongest of the lot, and there's always an accident waiting to happen with Phil Jones and Chris Smalling. They can have a consistent run of games where the confidence is there, and we did it with Louis van Gaal. We were so watertight. Then we started shipping goals. So the defence there, it is potential. They can make mistakes.
But do you think with Phil Jones, it's his fitness that is the problem and not his inconsistency? Because I know he had that patch where he was getting teared up in the 23s and that. But apart from that, he's never really been.
Well, they have knock-on effects from each other, don't they? If you're not fit, you can't get consistency, and I think they come as a two.
Phil Jones could get injured looking at himself in the mirror.
He's very.
You know what I mean? But but I'm not disputing. No, he is playing well. The confidence is there. But if he stays injury free, yeah, he'll do it. Same with Chris Smalling. But it's a confidence thing.
Do you think it's a lot of risk though?
Yeah, there is.
On our defence,
there is a risk there, because what we're going to do when we come up against City, Chelsea, Liverpool, we'll see what we're made of come October, November.
You said there's risk in Phil Jones, and no one's going to argue with that. You do have backup for that other centre half position.
I mean, do you know, because yes, Jones is a risk, but so is Smalling. You know, so is Blind, so is Rojo.
You're talking about that steady defender.
Like, there's not one of them that you, apart from Bailly, that you can say. And then even Bailly might go on 2 foot about, 5 players in one game and get a 50.
Again, you've got to ride that line, because if Lukaku gets laid out for the whole season.
Because league-winning teams are built on reliable back fours, and we've got 2 reliable back players in our back 4.
Yeah, but I think you've got enough in those 3 or 4 other options as the other centre half that you'd be okay. We've seen Smalling and Blind have an unbelievable partnership together. We've seen, who was it last season? It was Bay and Rowo Maceley, wasn't it? Yeah, Rowe Jones wasn't a bad one as well. There's partnerships in there that we can throw together if needed.
Yeah.
I think we're
Lindelof, that's a new one.
Lindelof, like it. But there's other issues, like if we lost Matic and Pogba, instead of two centre-halves, we're knackered. If we lost Mkhitaryan and Lukaku, there's no team can go through a whole season expecting no injuries, and no team can go through and expect to do well if they lose key players like that. Joey, we're in a better position than almost everybody else in terms of that. Now, if Manchester City lose company, they go from being an absolutely top team to Watford. Like they don't just drop a level or two; they drop like 4 or 5 levels without company, and it's mad how the impact one player has for them. That's why I think they're doing a madness trying to sign Sanchez. They want to be throwing 70 million at finding a really good centre half because that could win them the league. I'm not sure Johnny Evans is the guy. I think he's a better defender than Stones, but I don't know if
he is better than Stones.
I don't know if he's going to be the
I think I would play Johnny Evans for United right now.
Yeah, because he's that kind of...
Bay and Evans.
Like we said, he's the calm sort of defender you want, isn't he? He's experienced.
Well, no, because I like chaos. I like Rowo and Bay. I think that's absolutely mint.
Yeah, chaos is good to a certain extent until they lose the head a little bit. Chaos, you need it. You need a little bit of bite and a little nastiness in those positions. So attackers are a little bit worried about him. But when it gets too far, I'm saying in the big games maybe when we really need them.
Bit too much hot sauce.
Yeah, a little bit too much spicy. But when you want them to keep calm, do you know what I mean? That's the only thing I can see.
Gerard says, I don't think we need a new right back, but Valencia needs to improve on his end product and his delivery. Merkel's giving a shout out to Axel.
See, he wasn't mentioned in the options at centre half there, and he might be the best natural defender behind Bailly out of all of them. Axel.
Yeah, but the reason I didn't mention him is because I'm just being honest. Like,
Mourinho's
when you look at
is he?
it from the perspective of I know Jose loves him,
but they won't let him go out on loan.
Yeah.
So that's a key.
But then our 23s are quite short on players as well.
I don't think they care about the 23s. Looking at how much, I'm being honest. I mean, I don't think they care.
There's
about
no money to be made there, so leave it.
I think I think you'll see Axel part of the first team squad, and I hope he gets opportunities because for me, he would be the next in. If there was an injury, I would certainly put him in. Now, Jose's mentioned it's going to be Lindelof and Smalling that get the opportunity in the Champions League because of the suspension to Jones and Bailly. Well, Axel will be on the bench 100%, and to be honest, I would give him 20 minutes. I'd give him 20 minutes in that game. Yeah. I really would.
Now at the end, the League Cup is a full game there.
Yeah, and he didn't mention the League Cup when he gave his expectations a couple of weeks ago, did he? He said we want to win the league, want to win the FA Cup, and I want last 8 of the Champions League, which I think is really realistic.
I think he's targeting.
But he still likes the League Cup.
Set. Every trophy.
He likes the League Cup's his first trophy he's ever won with Chelsea.
He didn't mention it this year, which is crazy.
But he's still got a goal for on all fronts.
And he's kept Pereira when people have expected him to go out on loan again.
Well, yeah, Matty Willock's just gone Utrecht, hasn't he? And when they phoned us up, they wanted Andres Pereira, and we've steered him on to Matty Willock. So Willock wants to stay, apparently.
Yeah, there is a high expectations this season. There is.
We're going to stop talking about Victor Lindelof. We'll continue the conversation shortly. Victor Lindelof out of 10 as a signing.
Can't judge him yet, so 6.
I'll give him a 7.
I'm going to go 5 because he's not had a chance to judge him yet, like you said. Let him play a game first and then I'll judge him.
I'll go in the middle, about 6 as well.
And let's say that League Cup game coming up, play him in that.
Yeah.
Break him in.
If he gets broken in against Burton, that's worrying.
If Burton tear him up, I'm off.
To be honest, we drew against Burton in the past.
I think we have drawn.
I think they've come and done a job, haven't they? Before.
Yeah, but that was due to playing the kids with Ferguson.
We still had some good players out there, I think it was Giuseppe Rossi, Kieran Richardson, Ronaldo.
Hey?
Who? Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Exeter City got us a replay, didn't they?
York City beat us once.
Yeah.
I think I cried on my way home because I was about 5 at that time.
I was disgusted that night. I remember it.
MK Dons a couple of years ago under
with Dele Alli.
LVG. Yeah, Dele Alli. Dele Alli's rise to fame. Will Grigg.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's a chance for people to make a name against us.
You're getting the fingers.
Chris is just doing this to me. I don't know what he means, but anyway, guys, we're moving on to the second topic of the day now, and I'll be diving into the comments for this one as well after we've briefly spoken about it. The second signing of the summer was Romelu Lukaku, £75 million. Now, I'm going to speak to Steve first about this. We signed Rom, £75 million. Remember last summer?
I only put my pants on yesterday, pal.
Remember last summer?
I remember last summer.
What did we say to the BBC?
Lukaku's the one I
We
want.
both stood outside Old Trafford and said, we want Lukaku.
Match of the day, that.
Match of the day. This summer, it didn't look like it was going to happen. Looked like Morata was destined for United. Lukaku was destined for Chelsea. Ended up vice versa. Happy with that?
I'm
Lukaku?
so glad. I'm so glad it happened that way round. I didn't fancy Morata. Morata's decent, but I'm in the vein of I like to see players come to United that have Premier League experience. And Lukaku and Matic, for example, is one of those. Lukaku is the type of, and you can just see how he's settled in. He's the type of fella who says what he wants and kind of is confident. And Blind, he bollocked Blind a little bit in the last game. Blind was doing a few lazy balls, and you can tell how well he's settled in. For example, he's dressing down Blind at the side of the pitch in the Leicester game, and that's the stuff you want from your striker. You want him to come in and be that little bit arrogant, that little bit already knowing. And
Have you seen him when he's asking for the ball?
Yeah.
Constantly. And he's like there or here.
Yeah.
Like he literally
He's
tells you
dead
where he
precise
wants it.
with
Yeah.
But the thing he needs to work on Lukaku a little bit is like,
He's penalty taking for the start.
oh, he's penalty taking.
I knew he was missing that.
Everyone knew. It was telegraphed years ago. You could tell from his run up.
Schmeichel moved.
And he did this.
Yeah.
I'm looking in my corner, I'm looking in my corner, and he hit it in that corner.
But that's his favourite spot in it, his bottom left for the past
Didn't
six.
De Gea save one there?
Yeah, against Everton.
Jaden turns to me and goes, left foot
Against
can't take
Arsenal,
penalties.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Gea
Yeah,
saved
belted him.
What straight away, did it? Love it.
Jaden's never seen me take a penalty, that's why. But yeah, Lukaku over Morata.
Yeah,
Right
hands
choice.
down. Yeah, buzzing about that. I was so chuffed about that when it happened.
I love the guy. You know this, and I've loved the guy for the
Preach.
longest
Yeah,
time.
love it.
I was on TFR last Christmas with Dave, and we did who's the best striker in the Premier League. Dave went with Zlatan, I went with Lukaku.
Yeah.
Statistically, last season Lukaku was finishing the most shots, and I said if you put him in this United team, which is making hundreds of chances, like Zlatan's conversion rate was down like 12%. Lukaku's was like 26%. You're like, can you even imagine if he just gets those chances?
Yeah.
And if you look at the chances he's got from United, didn't do so great against Leicester, but some of the chances that he's had, he's had a high conversion rate already, hasn't he? And he's not smashing them, he's placing them nice, he's passing them into the net.
Did you see he did something with Jamie Carragher about like, if a defender gets close to me, if he's this close to me, he's dead. Like it's over. I've got it. And he showed him, he rolled the defender. And I want to see more of that from him this season. He gets so close, he's that big.
He's strong
and he knows
as well.
for a
He's
fact.
really strong.
But he's technically good. I don't want people to miss out
He
on that.
thinks about his football.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing. Like he's got Henry in his ear with Belgium. He's got Zlatan in his ear at United. Two of the best
That's
strikers of
spot
our
on,
generation. And this is a man that will
Yeah.
sit there and say, can I just talk to you about this?
Yep.
Or can I just... He's not shy.
No, he's a thinker,
And
man.
he
You can
looks
see
like...
it.
He looks like, physically, a big shithouse. He is a big shithouse. But he's not like... He has... And sometimes the ball will bounce off him. But I just feel like that's because he's so much bigger than everyone else. It's like, you've got a big surface.
Yeah.
It's just going to hit him and it's going to bounce off him.
His movement alone is going to lead to more goals for United. Because if you as a centre
compared
half...
to Zlatan,
if you as a centre half are marking Lukaku, for starters, he's the only thing you're thinking about. And if he goes off to the side, like he does, because he does actually cover some serious ground, into the channels and also back as well.
He peels as well,
Yeah.
like he pulls
Yeah,
up,
he
then
comes
goes,
round.
yeah.
So if you're as a centre half, what do you do as a centre half? Do you leave him? Well, that's bad news. Do you go with him? Well, he's faster than you, so what are you going to do? So he's making centre halves think about what they're going to do for their runs. And when he drags them out of position, Mkhitaryan's ghosting in behind, Pogba's ghosting in behind, Marshall and Rashford are ghosting in
the other
behind.
day.
Yeah.
When Rashford played that ball, Lingard went through, Lukaku went the other way, and it was just great space was made. And then he was on the back post waiting for it.
The start of it, you could see, was the goal against Manchester City that Rashford scored. So Mkhitaryan's bombing forward, he's got Lukaku ahead of him, Rashford's on his right, he plays Rashford in, and the centre halves are looking at Lukaku, like, do I go with him or?
Yeah.
And before you know it, the
But he
ball's
got
at the
left
back of the net.
at Swansea. He got left for his goal, his first goal
And
against
he dived
Swansea.
in, by
He
the
got
way,
left
don't be
by
shy.
that as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
think
West Ham as well.
He
They're
has the
leaving.
potential. He could even get the Golden Boot this season because
I think he will.
He's scoring 30 goals.
Yeah.
All comps.
Definitely, and he's
Kane's slow start already.
he's got add-ons. It's 75 million. He could even go up to 90 with performance-wise.
That's cheap though, right?
Of course,
It
it's
is,
cheap.
it is in this window.
It is in this window, unless you call Neymar. You know what I mean? But
But I think even Neymar looks cheap now.
Neymar's in
come
a
on,
piss
man.
poor
Can you
league.
just say 200 million
come on.
is cheap?
Neymar looks cheap because Coutinho for 150. Why? Dembele for what?
If I was
why?
Coutinho, I'd
Neymar got
sign
that
straight
money.
away.
Compared to Neymar.
Mbappe for 130.
Neymar is so underrated. It's unbelievable.
Do you remember when Marshall was
He's in
this
a- he's
ridiculous
in a-
waste
he's
of money
in
for
poor
35?
league.
I said about Pogba. I said
Yeah,
about
Paul
Pogba last
League.
season. Like, wait until next summer. You wait till
All right,
January or
Mourinho.
whatever. No, but it's like it's like it's going to escalate and escalate and escalate. And at the
Pogba
moment,
at 89 cheap. Lukaku at
When's the
75.
next 300 million player? When's that? Who's gonna that be?
I don't know.
Monaco.
Lukaku,
Let's call Madrid. We're talking 150.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's only because we've got him off Everton that we've been able to get.
it was still a lot of money actually at the start of the window, but now Neymar's moved. No one's even saying shit.
Neymar's
His
cheap.
fee's not been mentioned actually this season. His
Just
fee
makes
has
you
not
wonder
been
how
mentioned.
PSG get this money. How they can finance
it's a
it. I heard
country,
because Zlatan got off the books at PSG.
I'll tell you
That was a
how they did
big chunk of the wages.
Basically, they've got a company called Qatari Sports Investments.
Yeah.
And what they did was that company paid Neymar
To go and pay
200 million euros
It's
to
so
be
bent.
a Qatar ambassador for the
It
World
is.
Cup. So then what he's done is he's paid 100 and whatever
So actually,
to,
yeah,
to get his release clause.
Neymar was a
his own
free
thing.
transfer.
And then he's
Yeah.
kept the rest of the money. And then he's got a contract for his football with them. So
Stinks.
not only has he got 70 million in cash, he's got a 5-year contract.
And his dad's his agent, says it all.
I say fair play.
Daddy knows best.
I
say
mean,
fair play to him.
if the rules are there for bending, they're going to bend the rules, aren't they? That's not their
I
fault.
say fuck Barca. Well done.
It's a crazy one that Mbappe's been able to go on loan with the fee being a guaranteed one for
Yeah.
next season.
That's just as mad.
Yeah,
Even
that's,
that, like when you look at
that's only to
Martial,
defer their financial fair play.
When you look at Lukaku, when you look at these players and then you see Mbappe, we've got a bargain here, right? 75 million
Yeah.
pounds.
Yeah.
He could
yeah.
be here for the next 5.
It's half the
Similar
price.
age.
Oh, yeah.
Half the price of Mbappe.
Could he beat Rooney's record?
He can beat his Premier League record, right? He can definitely beat his
knows?
Premier League record because he's already like 100 in, I think, on that. For Rooney's
So,
record at
Reminds
United,
me of Terry
Nah.
Sheringham.
in his 10 years of scoring 30 goals essentially to do it.
It's just players don't stay that long anymore,
don't think
do
so.
they? I don't
What if he
think they
becomes a 40-goal a season striker? Which is very possible.
It is possible, but that's some serious consistency. So you can do it in 7 years, 7.5 years if you score 40.
will. Great maths.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous to think that any player's going to do that.
Rashford's going to beat you anyway, so...
Rashford could do it. Rashford's got more opportunities to do it. He's going to be here longer.
What you saying Lukaku out of 10? I'd say 10 out of 10, signing-wise.
Oh yeah, 10 out of 10. Definitely on
Happy
that.
with that. I'm happy with that. Yeah.
I hate giving 10s out, so I'm tempted to give a 9, but I'm
9.9.
so excited. Yeah, I'm going to give it
9.9.
9.9.
Sweet.
I don't like giving
He's got a
10s.
football brain.
You've got to work to earn that 0.1, Lukaku.
If he brings
Right,
a golden boot on 21, we'll call it 10.
Let me get into the comments. Lukaku 10 out of 10 says Kamar. Kia says 120 mil props. Would that be fair? If we paid 120 mil for Lukaku, would you be happy?
I don't care what we pay for him. It's not my money.
The fees are
As
ridiculous.
long as
this
it's not in the
season, it don't make
Glazer's
sense.
pocket.
Yeah,
Dirty
exactly
money
that,
now.
Exactly that. I don't
Elliot
care as long
says,
as
what
it's
have I
nice.
missed? Basically, mate, you can pull this up at the end. We've just been talking about Lindelof and Lukaku. We have been dithering a little bit, so we've been dragging it on, but we will be jumping into your comments as well. And next up, we're moving on to the third signing of the summer, and his name is Nemanja Matic.
Done.
£40 million. Same price we've just seen Oxlade Chamberlain go to Liverpool for. And people were saying this was expensive.
Fabinho,
This is a bargain. What is a bargain?
Go on, Andy,
they're
tell them
trying to replace him with Danny Drinkwater for the same money.
I know.
How's that even the...
I know. He's just absolute colossal. His first game. You see.
By the way, you can't use that word. Webby's got
Trademarked.
blocks on that word. You can't. You
Ah,
can't. You're going to use that.
He's built, like I say, he's built like the Terminator. His first game, that run he did against West Ham, he took all them players out, and that's what we need. He can drive forward. He's got a cracking foot on him. That's Tottenham Hotspur in the
Which
semi-final. Well, on his right foot.
Right foot, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Left foot,
You
right.
said you got a cracking foot on him. I wanna know
The
what's
left
wrong.
foot, right foot, but he knows he's strong. He's powerful. He's got a football brain. Like he can
I
just
didn't
find
realise
players.
He was so good. passing the
Technically,
ball.
yeah.
No, but he's strong. We haven't had like this since Roy Keane.
Whoa.
But he's strong and he can play as well. What I like about the signing is that it just shows how much of a a key signing is for us, for how much Chelsea are pissed off by it, how much Conte, for example, is pissed off by it, because Conte is absolutely spewing that he's been sold over him, like we were saying before. He's been sold over, Conte, the manager, and he's come straight to United, and
He's just fit.
he's just
fit.
gone,
Fit in.
there, mate.
That's why I
Let's
didn't
go.
understand people clamouring for Fabinho over him.
No,
because to
Premier
me,
League experience, like I said before, it's the same, isn't it?
for me, if you're Jose Mourinho
Yeah.
and you've won a league with this lad, and you've
You
done
know
a year
him.
at United,
Yeah, yeah.
and you go, do you know what this team needs? This team needs that, right?
Yeah.
And if you've worked with that, you know that when you tell this lad to do something, you know how he does it, right? Now, he might not interpret it perfectly, but you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
When you can go and scout Fabinho and you go, oh, he's a cracking player, right? You don't know how he interprets your vision, how he interprets your instructions. So when you're bringing in a player that you've never worked with, there's a massive risk. You're minimising the risk when you sign someone you've already worked with. So when Jose Mourinho goes, I've been at United a year, we need this, and I've worked with this, and then he brings him in.
I just didn't think he could get this, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? I didn't think he would be able to get that, just because I didn't think Chelsea would be daft enough to do it.
The
but they
guy's
have.
won 2 Premier League titles.
Yeah.
It seemed
know
on the
what?
cards when he
Cheers,
signed
Chelsea.
Bakayoko.
Thanks for that, lads.
You know what I would say as well? Do you remember when Jose went to Chelsea? Second season he brought Costa, Matic, won the league. Chelsea won the league and have sold Costa and Matic, and for me that will cost them the title this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's how important he is. Is Matic, producer Chris wants to wrap it up on Matic now, so keep it short, but is Matic the most crucial signing we've made this summer?
No, I think it's Lukaku. I think his movement and goals is going to be more tangible than what Matic
I think it's
offers
close,
us.
though.
But if
I think
He's
Zlatan-
going to be
But
intense.
It's a very,
You know,
very big second.
Lukaku is a replacement for Zlatan, so we've
No,
naturally
is
improved.
Zlatan
Like, he has
plus.
improved on Zlatan, but he's a replacement for Zlatan, like almost.
What cost us
Whereas
points last year
Matic is
wasn't
something we
scoring
never had.
goals. It was the not scoring goals. It wasn't defensively. Now he might change the way we play in the bigger games. Hopefully he does. But it was the absolutely bitch slapping teams that we wasn't doing last season, and that's how we've started this season, and that's because of Lukaku. So yes, massive part of the squad. One of the first names on the team sheet. He's going to be integral. He's going to help us get number 21 this season. But Lukaku is just ahead of him, I think.
Clip that up. We're getting 21 this season. Clip that there as well. Andy?
Yeah, he's a really good buy this season, and he's going to play a big part this season. And like I say, I think we've got a good chance of winning the league this season.
This season?
Yeah, definitely.
This season?
This season, we're going
This
to win
season,
the league.
Andy!
Yes! We are going to win the league.
Go on, Carl.
No, yeah, spot on. I mean, we're waxing lyrical about him for good reason as well, because he's come in and his footwork's good. He's agile. He's big. He's, like we said, we've already given someone 10 out of 10, but I'll give him a 10 out of 10. I think he's a great signing. The fact we've took him from Chelsea, one of our rivals, is spot on to me. Makes it even sweeter.
I think it could be the signing of the summer.
Yeah.
In terms of
in
the
Premier
momentum
League,
swing.
in general, not even
Yeah.
just signing of the summer for United. In general,
Yeah.
I mean, the
for
lift
Premier
it
League.
gives the place
Yeah.
as well.
It
The
gives
lift
us a
it gives the
lift
players
and
and the
pushes
fans.
them down.
We needed
so
his experience.
better.
We'd massively need that.
Carl
experience.
said 10 out of 10 for Matic. We've got a new number 10. You see that, producer Chris?
Great.
See that, producer Chris? Right, he's right behind you. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Wasn't the fourth signing that Jose wanted. He wanted a different fourth signing.
Yep.
But he was our fourth signing. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, happy to see him back. Andy?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, what a backup you've got. If Lukaku, say, hopes to God he doesn't get an injury or anything, but if you need a playmaker, a game changer, you got Zlatan. It's fantastic.
A lot of people worry. I know my opinion on this. I've heard too many egos. It's not going to help Lukaku and Rashford. This, that and the other. Rashford won't be happy being Zlatan won't be happy being a backup. I know what my opinion is. What's your opinion on that?
I think he will be, because I think he's not going to come into December. And
He will be what, sorry?
I think he will be happy.
Oh, yeah.
I think he will be happy with the role that he gets. I think he understands his place in the team. He's never had an injury like this in his career before that he needs to come back off, so he needs managing to come back in. And I think it almost could, if done correctly, dovetail perfectly. Because you're going to have, in a player like Lukaku, who has got a very high output of energy, he's never had to play the amount of games that he's going to play, with the pressure that he's going to have to play at United when he was at any of his other clubs. He's never had to do that. He's never had to be that first choice guy, the big superstar that's relied upon to get the goals when it matters like this in the Champions League and in the top end of the Premier League, with all due respect to Everton. So that is going to wilt on him at some point in the season. And I think when you can start spelling Lukaku and you can bring in Zlatan to be the replacement guy, to give him 20 minutes off at the end of a game, or to bring him in a League Cup or one of those Champions League
Imagine being a defender and that happening, you're just like, for fuck's sake. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's nothing you can
And
terrifying.
inexperience of Lukaku in the Champions League. Zlatan, if we need to see a game out, close a game down.
Yeah, exactly.
That experience. Do you think they could play together as well?
I hope he just does it just
No,
for
I
the banter
don't.
once.
I don't think they'll play together. Like, yeah, it would be good to see. Just it's like how you'd play on
Just like a
FIFA.
Burnley at home or
You just
something.
put-
Have it.
Burton
They
It's
won't
not going to be 0-0 this year, lads.
They won't
Have
start
it.
together. I could see him seeing
But
a game out.
What I
together.
like is last season you could see Zlatan nearer his injury, and that injury is a lot to do with fatigue. He was getting played a lot. He's old. I know he's a lion and he's a legend and whatever he is, he's a don. But he got tired, and it's just natural that he got tired. So it's going to work well, like you said, that he's not going to play as many games this season. That is the amount of games he probably should have played in an ideal world last season.
Or at least on the running.
Yeah, but he doesn't. We didn't have a replacement for him last season. But this season, it's going to work really well. And I think Zlatan, regardless of if he's playing or if he's not playing, get him in the background. I don't care what he's doing. As long as he's there, he's a winner. His mentality.
Think of the confidence he can instill into you as a young striker.
Yeah.
Age
The
is
things
just a
he-
number. I've seen his kickboxing video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's building. His strength's going to be
But that
phenomenal.
injury, you've got to be careful with that injury. That injury is
Yeah, but look at what he's
is a
doing.
proper.
Look what he's doing.
Andy, you could make a video like that at home. Doesn't mean you could play for Man
I
United.
reckon we should
No,
do
no,
that.
no, no, it can't,
Producer
it can't.
Chris, we should do that.
Can we
Kickboxing.
get some Andy kickboxing videos done during
Like
the
a
international?
big kebab or something.
Right, let me just get in the
Yeah,
comments.
Yeah, a big kebab thing. Yeah, look.
James Rothwell says Zlatan is the new Berber. I don't see that. A lot of people are commenting on the Willian rumours at this moment in time. Now, if anything
not
does
happening.
happen, we will let you know. But I think we've just been talking about Matic to United. Chelsea would be stupid to sell us another one of their players. And on the last day of the window, I think it's just the scummy son trying to get a few extra clicks. And are we all in agreement with that?
Yeah. I don't think he'll come. Look at Dave Ryan's comment there.
Carl looks like a
I'll take
slightly
that.
less camp Gaz.
I've never been a less camp of anything. I've always been more camp. Only slightly though, he's put.
Yeah, only slightly. But then you and Gaz are together, aren't you?
Yeah, of course we are.
Yeah, so that makes sense. This
Do
guy's
we
great,
think we're
having
signing
him on
anyone?
Netflix.
Because I think
Today?
I'm sitting here with
No.
my feet up, mate. I'm
No,
pretty
no.
chilling.
No,
I think we're.
nothing's
you know
going to
what,
happen.
like-
It never does last couple of years.
Jose doesn't do that. It's like I said before, it's like these teams, Arsenal, Liverpool, whatever, they're the kid at school that haven't done the homework and it's due in tomorrow night and everyone's going, oh, God,
One
I've got to
transfer
do it,
window
I've
a
got to
couple
do
of
it."
years ago.
Jose's
Louis
going
van
out for a
Gaal.
milkshake.
Yeah.
We got
Jose's
Blind
doing pickups.
Falcao on
Yeah.
last deadline day and he flew in.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
it. That was the one
Who,
time.
Andy?
Falcao.
We had Anthony Marshall was a deadline. day
Falcao,
as
whatever it is.
Yeah, he was.
Falcao, Marshall,
Zooming on
Bergman.
that, Chris.
We have had a few pretty decent deadline day
Martial.
signings.
He's up there.
Yeah, we have, but I reckon Jose Mourinho would prefer, as most managers would prefer.
We didn't sign anyone on that deadline day last year.
Unless
did we?
Messi becomes available tonight, we ain't signing
Yeah, that's what I
anybody.
think. I think like I wouldn't be surprised if yesterday Ed Woodward sent a few emails out like, hey, he's barely
bit of banter.
available. Oh, what's going on
I
with
think,
Sanchez?
yeah,
But
I think
without
Bale and
anything
Sanchez,
serious.
I'm
Bale,
sure- I'm
Sanchez,
sure-
maybe Mahrez. I think those would have been people that we
An
inquired.
inquiry will be made today about a player, but nothing's going to come of it. Means allegedly that Mourinho's been approached
What are you
by
hearing,
Sanchez.
Andy?
I'm hearing. I'm just my good friend at Arsenal. He's upset. He's going to lose. They're going to lose the star player, Sanchez, but he's going to go to City because he would be a cracking addition to the
Is that
squad.
a title to City if Sanchez goes there?
No.
No, it's not. But they've got the strongest
it's the
squad.
defence.
I will say that they've got a fantastic strike force, but it's their defence. Like I say, their defence is crucial. If they lose company, they are fucked.
What was they good at last year? What was they good at last year?
Sorry.
Fire.
They
Sorry,
could
guys.
score goals all
Fire.
day long last year, couldn't they? That wasn't their issue.
All right.
No.
So buying more people to score goals doesn't mean you can improve. You're not the minimal improvement they're going to get. Now, if he came to United, I'm going to start booking parades and party poppers and all sorts of
Yeah,
stuff because I think that makes a tangible difference to us. He's going to just be like another one of 9 in that sort of position for City. Unless Pep's going to come up with a new formation.
Right. We're going to rate this out of 10. So what I want the people at home to be doing is commenting what they think our window should be rated out of 10. And then after that, we will be going on to some of the outs and be discussing the outs. So sum it up and then give me a rating out of 10. You'll all get about 30 seconds each because we've gone over the time a little bit on this and we need to move on. So I'll come to you first, Carl.
Yeah.
30 seconds. Is it a good window overall? And at the end, give me a rating out of 10.
It's a decent window overall. I think Mourinho knew he wouldn't get all 4, but he's an ambitious manager and he wanted to push Ed Woodward and push the people above, saying, go on, see what you can get me. Go and get me 4, but hoping he'll get 3. It's a decent window. I love the 2 Premier League signings. I'm going to go with 9 out of 10. I think it's good. If we was giving A's or A stars, it'd be an A, but not an A star because we didn't get the 4th. So 9 out of 10.
Yeah, positive window, 4 really big signings, and we shipped a few out, and it's going to be an interesting season, and I'm quite happy, and I'll give a 9 because Mourinho, look, he had two plans on players, and he had A and B on list of players. He got what he wanted, and he's just happy. I'm just happy. I'm happy with the transfers.
United fans are buzzing at the moment, innit? Go on, Steve.
I'm not going to give it a 9 because I think people have you've got to temper it in a little bit. We've strengthened the defence. I don't know if you can say improved it with Lindelof. The jury's out. We've definitely strengthened midfield. We've got an excellent looking midfield at the moment. We've improved our attack. We couldn't improve the keeper. So I think that if we'd have got someone to answer that left back question, I'd have probably been upset at losing Luke Shaw. But if we'd have got someone to answer that left back question and that other sort of attacking midfielder like a Perisic that's going to supply crosses, because we don't have that. If we'd have got that, it'd have been perfect, and then you can start giving 10s and stuff out. I think it was just less than perfect, but we are in a better position than we was, and we're in a better position than most of the teams around us. So I'm very happy, but I'm going to say like 7.5, 8. I think.
I was going to say 7, but I think you probably could have convinced me to push it to an 8 because of the fact that. Yeah, and even Zlatan coming back as well. I think it's just what we need. But like that team lacks so much character and experience.
Yeah,
and
it did. And we've just got bundles of it.
We've lost Rooney this year, and I know what we think of him on the pitch last season. He wasn't good enough. Whatever.
No, when you talk to the players, they tell you exactly what he does and what he means. And
the young players can look up to experienced players and that for advice and learn off them. That's it.
Definitely. And what I love about the team this year is as well, Rashford, Martial, Mkhitaryan. So much more to come from them guys. Anyway, I'm going to give you the list of the outs. They are as follows. Zlatan, who's on the ins and outs this year.
It's the most Zlatan thing ever, innit?
He was,
I would do it all.
He was released. Josh Harrop, signed for Preston. Having scored a goal on the last day of the season, and everyone getting excited.
Disappointed he's gone.
And I was saying at the time, he's 21, he's the same age as Martial. Like,
you know United can buy him back. You know United's got something in the closet. Definitely.
He was on a free transfer. There was no transfer.
It's like Sean Goss.
You know United can get him back if we want him.
But
if he does well, we can get him back.
It's props to the lad to go. He's obviously local, and it's props to him to go. Obviously, he's a United fan or whatever, and he's going. I could sign a new contract. We offered him a contract, and he's gone. I really need first team football. That's a spot on decision. We're crying out. Everyone cries out for, go to a lower club and play football. Fair play to the lad. He's done it.
He's in the Championship.
He wasn't going to be first team for United this year, so he's gone and done the right thing for him. And I wish him all the luck because he's an excellent player.
Rooney to Everton.
Chuffed. I'm chuffed that he's in the same league as us. I'm chuffed that I can still watch him. I'm chuffed that I can still watch him at the Etihad doing what he does at the Etihad, and all his tweets and stuff after. I think it's great. Do you know what I mean? It just shows that little bit of passion, that little bit of bite that he's still got for us. Do you know what I mean? And
we can enjoy him again, innit?
Yeah, of course.
It's like, you know what, I made a mistake.
If he went to China, I'd be gutted. I'd never seen him again.
He scored against City, and then after the game I tweeted, Rooney scored, yes, but he also showed why we let him go in that game, because he was poor.
Yeah.
And then I just thought, why did they even tweet that? Like, what does it matter to us anymore? Like, we get to see him score. We don't care if he gives the ball away.
We won't see that. We won't watch that.
Yeah. He wouldn't have started in this United team. So that's the top and bottom of it.
Yeah.
Happy for him.
Yeah, happy. He's
not a mistake.
He just wants to play. No.
Not at all.
His time was up. That was it.
Fairy tale for him. He's gone there.
Is it a movie?
Has he spelled that wrong? What does that say? Oof. Shake hand right in here.
Right. Regan Pool's gone to Northampton on loan. Henderson's gone to Shrewsbury Town on loan. Januzaj's left to Sociedad. I seen a great tweet about him. He's been on a weird David Moyes tribute tour. He's been to United, Sunderland, now Real Sociedad.
I like that.
Right move, wrong move. we've let him go?
He wouldn't have got in the team.
No, I don't think he's got the attitude there. No, I'm upset. I'm upset that he's missing opportunities. What I'm upset at. I'm not upset that he's moved. I'm upset that he's missed his opportunity.
Yeah.
Like Rashford took his, Januzaj missed his.
There's things that you hear about players, and one of the things that you heard is, one, Januzaj thought he'd made it after that first season, took Ryan Giggs' shirt number.
Different.
Yeah, total different attitude to Marcus Rashford. And two, he doesn't understand tactical instructions. David Moyes would give his team talk and he'd be like, lad, go play your game. Right, lads, this is what we're going to do. And he would just leave him to it, whereas Van Gaal come in. That's not Van Gaal, is it? Van Gaal is, you better... Chris Smalling said he would shout at him if he was 2 foot out of place. Like, stop the whole practice and be like, you're supposed to stand there, not there. You're like, okay. And Mourinho is essentially such an organiser as well that you can understand that there's no place for Januzaj in this team if that's the way.
You heard about his attitude though as well, and you heard about him doing things in 23s with Andres Pereira, spending a whole game trying to score from corners and things like that. But then you see Andres Pereira has returned. Andres Pereira went on a loan to Granada, who got relegated, the same as Sunderland. But he showed something different.
Yeah.
Whereas Januzaj was at Sunderland in the Premier League and he couldn't cut it, and I just felt like
It was in a dead end beat team with a dead end beat manager.
So was Pereira in Granada.
But
Pereira was managed by Tony Adams,
he bore the pants off anybody. Him.
and he still managed to do well.
And he still looked good, and he was still their best player.
But he's going to.
I think he was the most creative player outside of Madrid and Barcelona.
He's going to get game time. He's going to do good. Good luck to him.
I don't know if he's going to do good. That's the thing, and I think Januzaj could, in a few years, look back on his career like Federico.
It's his own fault. It's his own fault if he doesn't. It's in his own hands, on his feet, whatever you want. It's his own fault.
If he knuckles down, he'll do it.
Sam Johnston to Villa, on loan. Stevie Bruce.
I'm glad we didn't sell him.
Do you think he'll be back?
No, I don't think so.
No.
All right then, that's his fucked. Redmond to Scunthorpe, Borthwick Jackson to Leeds. I think that's a good move for Borthwick.
I hate Leeds.
Ditto. We all hate Leeds. Scum.
We all hate Leeds, which is a crazy move for him. They're going to call him a Munich, even when they're being nice to him. I think he started.
All right for a Munich. That's what I was going to say.
I think he started off all right, but he's going to have to maintain that, otherwise they will turn on him so fast. And I like Cam as well. And my son's
very
doing well
classy. Very classy. He'll do good down there. I watched him against Huddersfield.
Holland call up as well this week.
Oh yeah,
I'm so buzzing.
I'm chuffed for the lad.
He's played 3 games. You've got Crystal Palace fans all over Tinternet buzzing about him, even though they've lost 3 matches.
Yeah.
He's made the most tackles in the Premier League, I think.
He's been the most.
He did one against Huddersfield, and that was just so well timed. And I watched that, and I thought he's gonna. You know
what's impressed me about him? His passing and everything has been.
That's why he's a midfielder, not a centre half.
But we didn't get to see that from him at United because he was always playing.
It's only a loaner.
If he plays 30 games this year, he might stop signing someone next year.
He'll definitely come back. It's only a loner.
I know he'll be back.
He'll be
if
back.
Fosu isn't back, there's going to be riots. We know that.
Oh yeah.
I'm starting it.
Yeah, we are.
I predict a riot. I'll get the
Kaiser
Kaiser
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Gone back to Penarol. Tattoos effed up his whole career.
He's messed up his entire career with that because he is such a good footballer as well. But he sounds like
how
he's
can
not
something
all there
like that mess up your whole career though?
You make United look foolish by you being a weapon on your loan, and United punish you by flinging you off back to Penarol, and he can recover. He's a good enough player.
Matty Willock's gone on loan, and that's the last bit of business we've done. Whether it's the last bit of business of the window, we're not sure yet, but it looks like it might be, unless there's a few other loans. Willock to Utrecht, a full season in the Eredivisie for him could be good. Playing in a league where everyone plays ball.
Yeah, you have to be a baller player there, don't you, to be fair?
He's an excellent player. Matty was a really safe sort of centre midfielder, almost boring, until United was forced to play him up front for a bit. And when we played him up front, it sort of like rounded out his game, and it sort of made him understand he can take risks. And then when we brought him back to play as a number 8, there was shades of Paul Pogba in his game. There were shades of this risk-taking, confident central midfielder, and he's a big lad as well. I think he's going to suit it really well over there. And there's obviously some sort of trait in his family as well, because his brother's gone to Benfica. So there's this adventurous trait in them.
Yeah,
they're all
being
excellent
afraid
players.
to travel and that
yeah, so we're going to go see him, I think, anyway, in Holland.
Yeah, we're going to Holland. I love a trip to Holland. Happy to go there. Also, I'm going to a Palace game as well this season. We're going to see Timothy Fosu-Mensah in action, breaking bones.
I can't go Leeds, though. Sorry, Cam.
Yeah, sorry, you ain't going. Unless we go to a different state.
If they play someone
away.
away.
It's going to be surrounded by Leeds. And, don't want that, do we? Harrison, you're on at 11 p.m. tonight. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, whatever.
What are you doing? What are you gonna do?
I'll be telling you about none of the transfers that have not happened today.
So what are you going to talk about? Because if there's no business going down, have you got anything in store for the peeps at home?
Yeah, I'm going to do a dance. I'm going to eat muffins. I might do a cooking show.
What's your version of the yellow tie?
My version of yellow tie?
There's no clothes.
Yeah, nudity.
Birthday suit.
Blood it up though before you get it on camera. You know?
Yeah, obviously. Some of us don't have to. Hey, Andy.
No. I'll be tucked up in bed from in work at morning.
What are you watching tonight? Babe Station or Sky Sports?
Or dual screening.
I watched the Avengers tonight, mate. Screw that.
Dual screen and the full-time Devils watch along of Babe Station. Carl, rate the squad.
Yes, mate. Rate the squad.
Any holes in it?
Yeah. The only kind of issue I see us having is it's opposite to last season. So I want to see how we adapt to the bigger teams. I want to see how we adapt to your Chelsea's, Arsenal's, Cities, and how we're playing. So last season we struggled against the minnows, the lowest league sides, whereas this season we're smashing them out of the park. But we're going to have to adapt how we play against those bigger teams. That's the only bit I can see us having a little bit to think about, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like last season, it was the other way around.
Yeah,
we did
yeah,
really
yeah.
well. We Jekyll and Hyde against Chelsea.
Yeah.
It was right on the money. We did it,
Yeah.
and we just.
I'm not saying it's a
just couldn't do
problem.
it
I'm
against
saying it's
little
something
teams.
we need to think about, which he will be thinking about. Of course he will. He'll just, I don't know, he'll put someone with Matic or whatever, and he'll restrict it a little bit more, which I'm fine with.
Go on, Andy. I'll rate it.
I'll definitely.
No, rate the squad.
8 out of 10. Happy with it.
I'll give an 8 out of 10 for the squad as well. It's looking promising
Why?
for the season.
Any holes? Where would you improve
It's
on?
the defence. It just worries me when we come up against the bigger teams now. With the how they're going to react to an atmosphere like in an away stadium. We've got to go to Anfield in October. That's the first big real test. We'll see where we are.
Who scares you though out of this? Because we saw what we did. I know it was only pre-season, but we coped with City's style of play.
The friendly.
Exactly.
It's a friendly. It was their first game. They just arrived in America.
So
it was
what?
their first game. So
what? So the last time we met Pep, we beat him in the league.
You cannot
in the League
judge an entire season on one game against
Yeah, look at
City
David
on a
Moyes.
friendly.
We won all our pre-seasons, didn't we, under David Moyes, and then we all know what happened.
You're not allowed to say his name.
Then,
are you,
didn't we?
anymore?
So,
Yeah, it's sacrilege.
Who worries you
that.
though? Who worries you? Because I think we've got a psychological edge over City. I think we can beat City. I think Chelsea are absolutely falling apart.
Spurs worry me.
Arsenal are
If
hilarious.
Spurs,
Yeah, but
have a
it'll
mental,
change, won't
Spurs to me have the best squad.
Spurs have got 38 away games, Andy.
Yeah.
Well, Spurs worry me.
And
Should have won
Wembley
it last
Stadium.
season in my book.
Yeah.
allergic to it.
Spurs just worry me.
Spurs
That's
came
it.
here and got slapped last year.
Spurs don't worry me.
No,
Arsenal don't
Nobody
worry
worries me. No one
Liverpool
worries
don't
me.
worry me.
I'm not saying
City
it's a
do.
worry.
And Chelsea do.
it's City,
But
City
even then-
strike force. That's it. But they, like I say, their defence. So it's good. Maybe Liverpool.
So what we need to do is we need to go and park outside Company's house and just park across his drive night before the City game, cause a riot, get arrested, take it for the team. We'll do a GoFundMe for my
We don't need to
my
do
fees.
that. Company will get himself injured.
Yeah, he'll injure himself.
banned.
He'll put the key in the door and go, oh, my wrist. Or whatever he'll do. Pull an hamstring walking down the
I mean, it's
stairs.
going to be a good season. We're going to do something. I think we'll win something.
I think we're winning the league. I'm really confident.
Second season syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Imagine
does
he
it.
doing
Maybe a
Mourinho's
cup.
second season.
He'd
Well,
do
worth
it.
sacking him and bringing him back just to do it again, wouldn't it?
Might retain the League Cup as well. League and League Cup. I'll be happy with that. FA Cup. But definitely, we'll definitely.
So what
do
you're
a
happy
trophy.
with is the treble, Andy. That's what you're saying.
I'm happy with any trophy because what did Liverpool win last season? Nothing. City won nothing, and they celebrated like they won something at Liverpool.
Lancashire Senior Cup, do you?
Nah. League Cup,
They won
Premier
a cup
League, FA
pre-season,
Cup.
didn't they? And he went mad over it. What was that? Milk Cup or something? Somewhere in
Premier
Asia.
League.
Liverpool.
Asia Cup.
Yeah,
Premier League
yeah.
Asia.
They
It's got
loved
3
it,
teams in
didn't
it. Dortmund's one of them.
Beat Hoffenheim
That's
last
brilliant.
week, and if they say they're going to win the Champions
Right,
League
lads.
again.
Love it.
Lads, shut up. Guys, thank you for watching. It has been epic here on Full Time Devils. I can see Manraj, Rajiv, Kyron, Rainy Sky, Zain Singh, Karen B, Andy Blue, Clashing in Style, Dilik, RS, and so many more in the comments. Thank you all for joining us. Howson's back at 11 p.m. with more transfer talk. We'll be back earlier if someone gets signed, but we doubt that's going to happen. If you've missed all of this show, then the show will be uploaded and you can watch the bits that you missed back later on today. And until then, anything else to add? Are you ever trying to hit 500k by the end of the season?
Please subscribe.
So subscribe. See you later.